Welcome to SpotLight. It's the podcast that lifts the curtain on life here at Wolverhampton Grand Theatre. I'm Scott.
And I'm Tonia. Hey, and this is the wonderful Nicole Louise Lewis. We are so happy to have you on our podcast.
Thank you.
One of our original Wolverhampton massive girls. So tell the people, what are you involved in right now, right here, right now at the Grand Theatre?
I'm in Six UK tour as Catherine of Aragon.
Woo!
In the Wolves' colours of gold and black.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the fact that you got that in. Oh my
Perfect colours for a Wolves girl. But let's before we get on to Six, as exciting as it is, let's go right back to the beginning. So you're a Wolverhampton girl, came to the Grand as a kid, saw the pantos. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, from young, like my uncle has always inspired me because my uncle danced before me.
Oh, who's your uncle?
My uncle is Rick Lee. He's amazing. I love him so much. And he sort of did dance from 20s, and he was in like a Steps tribute band as well. Wow. So he was H because he looked like H.
Okay.
So my uncle's always inspired me, and I've always seen him on stage and gone, oh my goodness, that's what I want to do. Then going to pantos a lot here at the Grand. My first musical theatre experience, though, was Thriller Live. My mum brought me, it was a Christmas present. And seeing, like, story, song and dance all in one place, I was like, oh, that's a bit of me.
Ooh.
Instead of just dancing or just singing, it was all of it. So I was like, oh, my God, yeah, that's what I want to do. And from there, then got into sort of, like, amateur dramatics, doing musicals or plays or just variety shows. Went to my dance school, which is Caroline Lewis Performing Arts. Yeah, that was amazing. That is where I started dancing. And then I went on to do performing arts at Wolverhampton College.
Okay.
I did dance at school and then went into it that way. From there, then I went to Blackpool Fylde College, which is supported by Lancaster University.
Okay.
And I got my musical theatre degree there.
So, okay. That's what you did?
Yeah.
Come on. This is really good information because there's going to be young people out there that are going to want to know there's different ways to get involved in this industry. Yeah. So it's really important just to kind of share these little nuggets of wisdom of how your journey. And it's just, carry on. And then?
It's okay. And then as soon as, whilst I was training, I did a few tribute bands. So I was in a Little Mix tribute band, which I loved. I was Leanne. I did a Whitney
Obviously.
I did a Whitney Houston tribute. I did a Rihanna tribute and a Tina Turner one, and that was all in Corfu. So whilst I was still training, it was like a summer break. They flew me out, like this company that I was working for, flew me out on my own. Did it. It was a great experience of travelling on my own for the first time. So I did that, and then leaving university with my degree, I went straight into Alton Towers, and I was a singer in the hotel for a while, which was really nice because I got to see all lovely little kids, all different types of kids, all different backgrounds, and that really sparked my sort of like want to work with children as well. So I was like, oh, that's going to be something that I go down in my life at some point. What else did I do? I then did Scarefest at Alton Towers, which was another level of greatness because the kids, because you're getting to be like a completely different character, you're not being yourself just singing a song, you're being a completely different character straight up my avenue. I was like, yes, this is amazing. This is like the first tiny step in the door towards musical theatre.
Oh my God, you are a grafter.
Oh yeah,
this is just beautiful. You are a grafter. You are putting in the work there. Keep going.
You've got to. Because no one else is going to do it apart from you. So you've got to put the work in, especially if you want to do it. And then from there, I got on a little cruise ship, just a tiny little cruise ship that went from Stockholm to Riga in Latvia, which was really nice.
Wow.
And we did like a Eurovision themed type shows, and there's about 6 shows in total. Lovely, lovely time. And then from there, I sort of said to myself, I need to take the next step. I need to do something big. So then that's when I got into Book of Mormon UK tour original cast.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
you just dropped that out there nicely. But can you share with us what was the process? How was you able to get an audition? Do you have an agent? So just talk to the viewers about that.
I had an agent.
Yeah.
And I believe that, as much as your agent you pay to get you a job, you're paying the agent. So you have to remember you're in control. So
I love this.
I said to my agent, I said, look, I really need to do something big. I will do any musical theatre show, do any role, because I just want to get my foot in the door. So that's when my agent was like, okay, cool, let's go then. So then that was it. Every single week after coming off the cruise ship, I had an audition, self-tapes as well whilst I was on the cruise ship. And it was, I think Book of Mormon was my second audition that I had, in maybe the second week of getting off the cruise ship. The week later, I knew I had it. Wow. So it was very fast, which was really nice, because then I knew I was solid then. I knew I was good for a whole year. I'm going to have a really good income. I'm going to be working really hard and progress and sort of get my foot in the door.
Yeah. What was the role you played?
I was at first, because Book of Mormon went through COVID, so my role changed a little bit. But at first, I was a swing. So that means all female tracks in the show I would cover. Now, there's 5 in total in the Ugandan community. In the Mormon community, there's probably about 12. So the male swings, they had a lot more to cover. But for myself, for my first job, I was very proud. I was like, I'm doing 5 roles here.
Yeah.
And I also covered the lead. I was the first cover for the lead. So I was really sort of proud of myself.
We are proud.
There's so much, as we say all the time on this podcast, there's so much talent in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, there is.
And all coming up through the amateur groups, there are so many people that go on to be in West End shows and UK tours and stuff like that. But a question that popped into my mind when you were just saying that, a lot of times we get asked, because everybody knows what an understudy is, but people say, what's a swing? And they don't necessarily understand where the swings sit within the show. So just explain to people what a swing does and how much work it is, actually.
Yeah, it is quite difficult. So swings, when I first became a swing, it's changed a little bit now, because we need to talk about equality and making sure everyone's got a fair chance of doing the role to their best ability.
Yes.
So, typically your swing comes in along with everyone else. You do all the same rehearsals as everyone else does, but you're tracking 2 to 3 people at the same time. So I had my iPad, and all it is I focus on my first cover, in a sense. So the first person that I would potentially go on for, I would put all my focus into that person, but also jot down little things for everyone else. So I'd learn it in my body for the first person, and then jot all the numbers for everyone else down. So then I know the choreo.
Yes.
It's just then flipping it if I need to flip it onto the side, and I've got the numbers written down. So I'm using my number 1 as my core, and then branching off from number 1 for my other 3 or 4. Now, when you sort of get to when someone's ill in a rehearsal period or time, you get put in if it's your first cover. So being a swing, you have, so the Mormon swings I think had 4 covers. So their first, their seconds, their third and their fourths. So it's the likelihood of them going on for that role. Yeah. With the ladies of Uganda, I had the 2 sopranos were my firsts, and then the alto and the mezzo were my seconds. Nabalungi, who's the lead, was also my first. So I had 3 firsts and 2 seconds.
My goodness. I'm so just as you're explaining this, even though we are from this world, but just listening to you break it down.
How you do it,
and how you do it in particular. I mean, we've got to take our hats off, in my case, my wrap off to you. It's so much work, so much dedication, and the craft, you are bursting with talent. Carry on telling us.
So then, for example, whenever anyone in the ensemble is then ill, no matter where it is within the Ugandan community or the Mormon side, whoever was the first for that person then would immediately be brought to stage. You would then get your wig on. You'd do as much makeup as you possibly could do. You get your wig on, you get into costume, and you have to just go and pick it up, like no matter where. So I was in a show, I was already on at that point, but there was a show where one of the ensemble ladies had hurt their ankle, and within seconds, this amazing woman, Sancha Clark, she literally switched her brain on. Yep, not a problem. Okay, yeah, where are we in the scene? Amazing. Right, okay, let's go. And this is what I mean when it comes to swings and alternates and covers. They do not get the sort of recognition that they deserve. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I did it with one job, and then I said, I love it. I will do it again, but I want to experience being ensemble and leads first. Then I'll go back to it. You know, I'll go back to it.
We see what you did there.
But I want to do the stage stuff. I'll go back. Don't worry. But some people are built for it. Some people have the brain and the skill to just drop a hat and go. Wow. Like some of these girls in Six, they can literally drop a hat and go.
And some of them cover all the queens, yeah?
Yeah. So there's one that covers all the queens currently. So that's Shakira Simpson. She's our super swing. So she knows all six.
Imagine being called super swing.
Yeah. Then we've got Izzy Maxwell. She is on to 5. She's done 5 queens, so she's only got 1 left.
Do they have to tour as they go everywhere?
Yeah, they come with us everywhere. At the moment, they're in there rehearsing at the moment. So they have to, like, it's within their contract that they would potentially do all 6, but it's not for definite. Yeah. The contract's changed now, so it no longer says that. But they learn all 6, and that's so exciting because they get to do that one role that they didn't think they would get to do at least once. At least. Like some of them have done, like Izzy Maxwell, she's done Seymour
is it the super
times. Swing? No, Izzy's the alternate Berlin Howard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who's the super swing again?
Shakira Simpson.
Shakira is super swing, and then Izzy
is the Berlin Howard alternate.
Wow.
You've got Ellie, who's the Aragon Cleves alternate, and you've got Tamara Morgan, who is the Parr Seymour alternate.
Wow.
And they're all getting really close. They're getting good. Honestly, I want all 3 of them to do all 6.
To have done all 6. Yeah,
I want them to. I'm like, come on, girls, you can do this.
But there's one queen we need to talk about. I did that.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Catherine of Aragon, and of course you being a sort of Wolverhampton girl, being a Black Country Wolverhampton Aragon as well. Yeah. Let's talk about that. So how did 6 come about and getting the role?
I auditioned when it first ever came out. Wow. So when it was ready to move from Edinburgh Fringe into the arts, I was like, yeah, it's a bit me. Yeah. One of them based off Beyonce. Yeah, no problem. I love it. So this is really embarrassing, but I went into the audition quite young, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So that shows like everything comes to you when you're ready for it. But I wasn't ready. I went in and I sang Love on Top in the wrong key, and I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't.
You couldn't get
I said, sorry, can we start again, please? Yeah, not a problem. Still in the wrong key. I was like, it's fine. I said, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. See you soon. Bye. And I took myself out. I said, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
But I'll
see myself out.
I love that honesty.
And I thought to myself, do you know what? One day, I'm going to do it. I am going to do this show. And I believe that speaking things out will make things come true. Yeah. Whether that be in prayer, whether that be spiritual, whether that be manifesting, however you want to output it into the world, put it out and it will come back.
I love it.
Positive. Like this, like a little loop.
Wow. Yeah. And so then tell us that, so skip forward to the time when you got the job.
Yeah, so then I moved from, this is another interesting bit, I moved from Book of Mormon into Dreamgirls.
Oh,
so I was,
we missed that
we missed that Dreamgirls.
Yeah. So I was in Mormon after COVID. I moved from being a swing into the ensemble track. I was still the first cover for Nabulungi. So then it's the same production company that has Dreamgirls and Book of Mormon. Okay. And they were after I knew first cover for Effie, Dream Roll.
Dream Roll.
So then associate director and associate music director called me the next day after seeing Book of Mormon, after wanting to give notes, because that's what they do. They come in, give notes, go away. So they came in, watched the show, and the next day they give me a call. Hi, Nicole, would you mind coming in and auditioning for Effie White? And this is me on the phone. I was like,
I feel it in my body now. I'm like there on that day.
I was like,
I'm there.
Yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? I'll just come in and sing Move, maybe sing a little bit of And I'm Telling You. Is that all right? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. What time? Oh, about 2. Yeah, okay, perfect. See you later. Bye. Come off the phone and went. Honestly, I was like,
was you at home in Wolverhampton at the time?
No, I was in Liverpool.
You was in Liverpool?
Yeah.
Doing the Book of Mormon.
In Liverpool doing Book of Mormon. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was emotions were like whoa, all over the place. So then got to do that for like 6 months, which was amazing, absolutely incredible. I went on so many times as well, which was really nice.
Oh my goodness.
I got a show in Birmingham, so a lot of family and friends came up and was able to watch me in the show.
That's just beautiful. What a role.
She's a beast. She is a beast.
Sitting at that table at the end of Act 1.
Yeah,
Wow.
She's a beast.
Yes.
Effie is hard work, but I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
We love her. We love you. Oh my goodness. So then yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is just awesome.
So then I was like, right, I'm going to be in 6. I started it. I started manifesting it. I started saying it. I was like, I'm going to be in 6. I said, I don't care who, but I'm going to be in it. Yeah. And I started then listening to the soundtrack a lot, putting it part of my life. So, waking up, that's what I put on to get ready. In the shower, on the way home, travelling from venue to venue. That's what I would listen to. And we were in Blackpool. This is where life gets crazy. So we were in Blackpool, back in my uni town. So there was a lot of people that then came to see me in Blackpool, which was great. I happened to be on 6 shows that week as Effie. So it was a big week for me.
Yeah.
And I was sending, I sent self-tapes first. Yeah. I then did a dance round. I then skipped a round because they knew I was on tour. So they said, please don't worry about coming back for this one. We'll just rewatch your videos you've submitted. I was like, amazing, that's so helpful, thank you. And then I got through to the final. And on the final, both of our Effies were ill. So I had to go back to Blackpool to do it. So I got on the train, on the sleeper train, on, let's say it was the Thursday night. I got to Base Studios for like 9 a.m, first thing. Went in, did the dance round, and then Pearson Casting basically said, right, I'm really sorry, everyone now needs to leave. We need to get a superstar scene, and I need to hear her sing one more time because she's going back to Blackpool to play Effie, okay? And then look directly at me, and I was like, oh no, please don't put that pressure on me. So then sang my song a few times, ran back to the train station to get back to Blackpool to then do Effie on the evening.
Oh my gosh. And then when did the call come?
Yes. Or was that
came.
there and then like...
No. So then I had a few more auditions for Bake Off, the musical.
Oh my gosh.
This is awesome.
And a few other little bits and bobs. Yeah. And it was on the train back from Bake Off.
When she says other little bits and bobs, she means big bits and bobs because she just dropped in, she just drops in these little things like, are you crazy? Carry on.
So I knew I wasn't going to get Bake Off because it wasn't like me.
Yeah.
Right.
It was very sort of like stage not combat, but it was object choreography.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like tea towels and spoons. I was like, that's too much. I can just about dance. Like, this is a bit too much.
Your dance teacher would
she'd disagree for sure.
Yeah.
So I knew getting out of there, I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
It's not something that I've spoken into my life, so I believe that it won't happen. And I was on the train back and I was like, it was great. It was a really good audition. I felt really comfortable, but it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I obviously said thank you to my agent, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm really sorry that I've wasted your time today because you didn't actually need to go because you'd got 6 musical. And I was like, what?
That's how he told you?
And he was like, yeah, you've got 6. And I was like, what? I can't even scream, I'm on a train. I was like, no. I was like, thank you so much. He was like, I didn't give it you. You got it yourself. And I was like, I know, but thank you for getting me in the room.
Yes.
I was like, wait. Who have I got?
Yes.
Because I had no idea. I just was in the fact that I was in it. It was like, you're Catherine, Nicole. You're Catherine of Aragon. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. The golden black wolves. Like, little old me. Do you know what I mean? I was just...
You're going to make me cry. I need to just process everything you've just said is... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And I mean, on press night, we had press night a couple of nights ago, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I managed to pop in because you get you're the first individual song this year. Right, I'm racing in to see Nicole do. And short of saying, "All right, Bab," that is pretty much what came out of your mouth, and I could just hear there was a wave across the whole auditorium as if to go, "Hang on, she's one of us. She's one of us." So that was so special. Yeah. Tell me about that opening night here in Wolves.
So the opening night was. Undescribable, like literally undescribable. Like from being in Glee choir and performing on that stage amateurly to then do a professional job on this stage, like it's been a big thing for me. Working up to it, everyone's like, "We're going to Wolves next week," and I'm thinking, breathe. Yes. You're okay. And then I like stepping foot in, getting my dressing room ready, like prepping everything, getting my makeup on. I was like, okay. And I haven't cried yet. I cried yesterday a little bit because I saw my daughter in the audience, and she was at the back in the lighting desk, and she was having literally the best time, singing along, dancing with us, and I was like, oh my God, this is this is what I want. I want her to be able to experience my life. So then I in Heartstone, I was like, please. Yes. So yeah, that's the first time I've cried, but I think Sunday is going to be the day. Yeah. I think doing the last show, I think I have about... Is
the last show's on Sunday?
On Sunday, matinee, isn't it, on Sunday?
Sunday at 2:00, I believe. But that show, I think I have maybe 20 plus, maybe 30 plus people. So I know I'm gonna, there's going to be tears.
Yeah. I'm going to try and get a sneaky ticket for that Sunday show because I need to.
You'd be hard pushed.
I need to see you. I know, but I'm going to squeeze it. It sells out quick, man. You know. Try to get in there. It's like, what? Yeah. Listen, I do the Grand Theatre podcast. Yeah. Can I get in? Get me a ticket, please.
Anyone got a spare ticket?
Please.
We just have to very quickly talk about your costume as well.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriella Slade, who's done
Absolutely
these costumes,
incredible.
won the Tony Award for them. Yeah. And in fact, I'm not just saying this because you're here. Your costume is my favourite one of them.
Yes.
But let's just talk about what's it like to wear that costume. What are they like? Are they heavy? Are they light? How do they
She's a beast.
work?
Oh,
yeah, right, okay.
She's a beast. She's the heaviest costume of the show.
Is she?
Yeah. So to my costume, they had to make a small alteration because I'm type 1 diabetic. Okay. So I have a pump, and there's a peplum, and in the peplum on both sides there's like a little pocket. So then my pump will come, the wire will come through and around and then sit in that pocket so I can reach it during the show.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
These are the things that people would never know.
No.
That is so amazing. And what does the pump do? Like
the pump gives me insulin, basically.
Oh, yeah, it's your insulin pump.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So that sits in there. So then in the show it alerts me because I've got a sensor on my arm. So they talk to each other. So if my blood sugars drop, it'll start buzzing. So then I'll press the buttons and go, right, I know I'm going to go low, so I need to leave in a minute to go and get some Lucozade and then I can carry on.
Yes.
But most of the time it stays quiet because I try and manage it so I don't ever hypo in the show.
Wow. Yeah. This is
so... not only the costume was made for you, but then the costume was made
for you. Yeah. But also how that has highlighted how inclusive that, the process of even just down to the costumes, for people with different needs. Like, to me, that's blown my mind. Yeah. And I think that's valuable, a bit of insight into your world as a performer on 6, it's absolutely wonderful. So, I mean, you talking about the costume, and that it's been made specifically for you. So just tell us a little bit about, like you, Scott was saying, the costume changes and
costume changes.
You don't have the. Nobody does.
Although you just put a little bit around your neck for a hand
No, but you don't have costume changes.
But I can't get into my costume on my own.
That's really? Okay. Talk to us about
so it. There's a lot of hooks and loops and straps and everything to try and get into my costume. So first of all, there is obviously underwear. Yeah. Then you've got like these sock material type socks. 1 pair of fishnets, diamanted pair of fishnets, our in-ear monitor pack that goes in some pants, that then goes on. Then we've got a leotard. Then I've got my skirt, which I clasp at the front, and it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little hooks on it. Then I put my bodice bit on, that's got the shoulders and the corset bit. That all then gets hooked to the skirt, all those little hooks that go around, it gets hooked to the skirt. Then there's a big, thick piece of elastic that goes around my waist that basically like holds it tight to my body. Yeah. So then if I'm moving, it will stay there. Big zip up the back, a piece that goes across the back to keep the shoulders on, and then my necklace and earrings. That means somebody has to get you out of it as well. Yeah. So do you all have personal dressers? No, so we have 2 people, part of our wardrobe team. They're amazing. Literally a head of department and a dep department. It's the same for our wigs. We have head and a dep. So we've got, I can't remember second names, but we've got Stella and Eleanor, who's wardrobe, and then we've got, no we haven't, that's wrong. We've got Stella and Sophie for wigs, and then we've got Suzanne and Eleanor for wardrobe. Yes. And both teams are really good. They do everything as fast as they can. Wow. Wigs are always on point, always checking, always doing whatever they can to make us feel comfortable. There's a lot of queens with textured hair in our show, and they are trained in textured hair. So it's really nice because then it's like you feel confident giving them a wig or going to them and saying, oh, I need you to do my hair prep today. And without a problem, they will do it for you. That is... Honestly, really good. The insight that you've shared is so valuable. Yeah. Because like there's such a big following. What do we call the followers? The Queendom. The Queendom. So what's that? Tell us a little bit about the Queendom. The Queendom are the ultimate Six fans. Yes. They say hi to the Queendom. They are incredible. They will support you like non-stop. They've even asked me, like, so I sometimes do live videos on TikTok or Instagram, and they ask me, Nick, what do you want to do next? Where are you going next? What are you doing? We'll support you. We'll follow you. Yeah. And once you're with them, that's it then. You like go. And I was saying before that, you know, the Queendom have the sort of like OG cast, and they will always be like the heart and soul. Yes. But you know, like with their family tree, how you have then like the aunties and uncles that come off. The cousins. And the cousins. I feel like all the different types of tour and all the different types of productions of Six come from those guys. So then, for example, some people's favourites are like On Ships, or it'll be an American Aragon, or I don't know, our tour, we've got some massive fans of the Seymour and of the Bobo, and it's like it's like an add-on from the OG cast, which I think is amazing. It is amazing. And do you find it strange sometimes when people are like being a fan? Not really, because I say this a lot at Stage Door, because I always tend to go to Stage Door. The only time I don't really go is if I'm feeling a little bit unwell, because I'm all about not spreading germs. If I'm feeling a little bit unwell, or, you know, I'm like completely exhausted, because there is days when you get like that, because this show is intense. It's like doing a HIIT workout every day, sometimes twice a day. So sometimes if I am really, really tired, then I won't go. But most of the time I do go, and I say, you know, I remember being in your shoes. I remember being like you, and being at Stage Door. When Amber Riley was playing Effie in Dreamgirls in London at the Savoy, I remember being at that Stage Door and being like, please, would you come out? Yeah. Please. And, you know, so I know what it feels like when, one, they don't come out. You have that defeat. You're like, oh. Yes. But you don't, after a bit, you don't really care, because it's like, but, they must be going off. So they're more important. And it's showing the fans that no, I'm going to give you the time because I know what it's like.
Yeah.
That's why I go out, and it's that reason. Like, just going to see someone, signing a program, and having a picture can make their whole week. Yeah. You know.
Did you? Sorry, I was just
agreeing
putting it.
And almost to say thank you for doing that for our Wolverhampton Queendom and fans, because I know that our stage door can be really busy at times.
Yeah,
and it's fine. It's completely fine, especially at home. Like home and Birmingham, I will always give the time because I know what it's like standing at that stage door and waiting.
Oh my goodness! And then there's going to be, another Nicole just waiting there. Following in that with that whole dream, there's going to be someone. And just to kind of wrap it up and bring us round to, I just wanted to say, just how important is it for you, the stepping stones that you've taken in terms of starting at the Grand? Because I know you mentioned the Glee Club.
Yeah,
so
Glee Club.
And you did, in COVID years, you also did our Intro to Panto schools tour.
Yes,
went into schools with us, didn't you?
Yes,
and
that's when I was pregnant.
Much time, but
that's when I was pregnant with my daughter. Yeah. Okay, so
your roots with the Grand.
My roots with the Grand, I think, was theatre, was Thriller Live. Yes. That was the key start.
Yes.
Then going into the Glee Choir and doing our sort of like quarterly, yearly shows. Yes. Like, so through the year we did, and I vividly remember the USA one because I love choreography. Like, I love creating pieces. And I had created quite a few pieces in that show. So that's why the USA one sticks with me like it was yesterday. Yeah. So doing that, being at the arena as well and doing shows there, like, it was all sort of like, that's what I want to do. And then, going away, coming back, then to do the Panto on the road, that for me was really special because I got to then rehearse on the stage and I was like, oh my God, I'm back. Yeah. I'm back where it all started, doing like, a professional job, not performing on the stage, but, in links with the Grand. I was like, yes, okay, all right, I'm getting closer,
helping us to get theatre to kids during COVID when they don't get it anyway, and then in that year they'd had nothing. Yeah. And we were able to go into schools safely and perform a pantomime to them.
Yeah, Jack and the Beanstalk, it was.
I remember the fairy.
It was great. It was like I was a narrator. Yes. Really cool. And then, obviously, to come back with this, as soon as I seen it on the tour list of where we were going, I was like...
Yeah. So we're so glad that we've managed to get you, Six, but for you, that the fact that you're in it is just, it's just a wonderful turnaround, you know what I mean, for your story, but for us here at the Grand, it's absolutely amazing. And I, for one, I've just loved speaking to you and meeting you because I've not met you before, and this is wonderful. I'm going to be a queendom.
You're going to be part of the queendom.
Yeah, I'm going to be part of the queendom because I'm a queen.
Yeah, everyone's a queen.
Everybody's
we're all part of the
we are all part of the queendom. Exactly, it's true. It's very true. So, but before we wrap up, we have a tradition.
We do have a tradition.
Go on. I'm ready.
Yeah, I like that. I like what we're doing.
You're one of the only ones who's been ready.
Yeah, nobody else is ready.
As a podcast, sadly, we don't have a jingle for our podcast.
All right, okay.
I don't think we're ever going to have one.
No, because we like
I'll
doing
make
this.
one. I'll make one.
Yes.
Because we ask our guests.
You can do this, and then you can put it on the end.
Yes. Ooh, you've given us.
See?
Yes, so you're ready. Listen.
Come on.
So it's got to include Wolverhampton Grants on the tablecloth,
yes,
SpotLight and podcast. And it can be whatever you want.
SpotLight.
Any sort of anything. So you just have to make it up. Just have a bit of fun with it.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. This is exclusive queendoms.
I'm going to try and be, because the queendom always asks me if I was to be another queen, who would I be? Yeah. And I always say Anna of Cleves.
Okay.
I feel like my energy is either like Beyonce, or it's Nicki Minaj.
I love it. So give us.
Wait.
She's having a think.
Wolverhampton Grand Theatre SpotLight Podcast.
Hey!
Wolverhampton Grand Theatre SpotLight Podcast.
And again.
Wolverhampton Grand Theatre SpotLight Podcast.
Yeah.
I've got the part.
I'm going.
Oh my gosh, I just can't believe this.
That was good, that was.
Oh my goodness, come back. Did you hear?
It's alright, you can do a little harmony on it, Scott. Don't
Come on,
worry.
Scott, get in.
I'll do the costume.
Oh, you'll have to button me up.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Well, we could just sit here and listen to your journey. Your story
It's so inspiring.
it's inspirational.
Thank you.
Honestly, we could listen to you for days.
Thank
you for coming on
No
the
problem.
Wolverhampton
Thank you for
Grand
having me.
Theatre.
Spotlight Podcast.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton Grand Theatre. Spotlight Podcast.
Dig it. Oh my goodness. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for
Not a
being with
problem.
us.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to have to say goodbye.
Oh,
Thank you everyone as well at home for watching and listening in, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.